Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how I made this sound better than the snare on Metallica's Saint Anger. Stick around and I'll show you how I did it. On this channel I create funny drum covers, drum lessons, and vlogs. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing below. Now let's start off from the ground up and work our way towards a finished product. So how did I come up with the idea, and how did I correlate the sound of a trash can lid to the sound of the Saint Anger snare? That correlation between the garbage can lid and the sound of the snare was relatively easy because it did sound like garbage, so I just took the saying literally and played on the lid of a trash can. Let's go to the next step and mic it up and see the process that I took to get there. If you haven't seen my cover video yet, I will put a card up here and a link in the description below with the video. Now, even though I'm miking the lid of a trash can lid, we're still treating it as if though we're miking a snare drum. So with that being said, things like mic placement, mixing, and gain staging still applies. Stick around and I'll show you how I did that in the video as well. I went with the classic Shure SM57 on this recording, and this is by all means a standard microphone to record a snare drum. This is like the go-to for most drummers. That's the microphone I went with, and anyway, I had to do some alterations to the snare basket. So here's our lid here, and I just placed it on top and it sits just nicely. Now obviously this is too low, so I have to bring the snare stand up. Now we have the snare stand up with the lid on it, and our microphone is pointing at it. However, we need to point this microphone at the edge of the snare, or in this case the garbage can lid. Just loosen this off, and that's where I found to be the sweet spot, just at the edge. Now because it is a lid, it was a little difficult to find the sweet spot. So now we're ready to track it in our digital audio workplace. All right, let's do that. Okay, now let's hear what we have without effects. Okay, and now that I've tracked it, I'm going to go into my effects and check my levels and then see about adding some reverb and other things to make it sound a little bit better than Lars's snare sound. What I like to use is the Slate digital bundle, and Slate audio, and this is the everything bundle, and so there's some presets in here. You can go into drums and then choose whatever drum you're trying to mix. I go to punchy snare, and that adds some EQ, compression, and revival. Now let's turn the effects rack back on and listen to that again. Okay, so not bad. Maybe we could use a little bit of reverb. So I'll have some presets too, so it makes your work a little more efficient. And this is the snare drum insert setting, so we'll add that and then listen back to it again. Okay, so that's basically what I added onto the lid itself to actually sit in the mix properly. So in the virtual mix rack we have some EQ, some compression, and revival, just to get back a little bit of what we lost here in the compression and EQ stage. And on top of that, like I stated before, we have Stillwell Audio's verbiage. So that's basically all I used to track the lid of a garbage can snare for that Metallica video. Regardless of how little I know about the mixing process, guys like Warren Hewart and Glenn Fricker have ample amount of knowledge online to actually direct you in the right way. So remember folks, to keep it simple, because oftentimes you don't really need all that complex stuff to make something sounding so great. And voila, that's how you get a snare sound out of a trash can lid and make it sound better than the snare sound on Saint Anger. So remember folks, if you like this stuff, do not forget to subscribe, and if you want to see more stuff like this on how I got the sounds from, say, a walk, or how I played with chopsticks or coat hangers, then don't forget to leave a comment below. Anyway, I'm Cameron, and thanks so much again for watching.